Also, one of the things you can also do is that you can also look for investment platforms. I mean, you can buy treasury bills, you can buy stocks. You can do this. These are safe investments. I love what they do in Piggy Invest. I love what they do in Carrywise. There are investment platforms there. You can even there's a traditional one we call Ajo. As little as that is still very significant in our time. But remember, you don't save to spend, you save to invest. And you need to, I would recommend this book, School of Money by Dr. Olumide. You need to look at the different investment vehicles. Blessing to someone, and keep listening to every story in this channel. Keep tuning into this platform. In fact, I've had a great time just interacting with him, and I'm sure you have a great time watching other videos and listening to other, because I must admit there are many things I learned along the way. I wish I learned from the start. My name is Oluwapamilere Sulaiman.
Welcome to another episode here on Service Echoes. Today we are featuring another guest from the batch A2 2025. An amazing woman, a woman with a potential, a woman of God, full of experience. She's here to document her NYSC experience and the lessons she learned during her service here. Stay tuned and bless. You are welcome.
Thank you so much, sir.
How has been the journey so far?
The journey has been wonderful. It's been something to always reference to, because it's not just about 12 months. It's about a journey of purpose, a journey of service, a journey of exploring different opportunities, a journey of building meaningful relationships and meeting beautiful people. So it's been remarkable so far.
Wow, that's nice. After you've understand the vision behind Service Echoes podcast, what makes you genuinely want to share your NYC experience with this platform, and what do you think the next generation will gain from it?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. This platform, I believe, is the right platform for the younger generation to hear the truth about NYSC, because all over social media there are so many views, but so many perspectives actually. And some of them are just views from what people are told them, not views from what they have experienced. So I think that this platform is the right platform for us to tell people from our experience and for people to learn, so that as they are coming, they come fully prepared, fully kitted for the year. Because I feel the reason why many people waste this 1 year sadly is because they are not fully prepared of what they should make out of it. So it's one thing for you to be excited about NYSC. It's another thing for you to come in with the mindset that you are going in for an agenda, you are going in for a purpose, you are open to learning, open for whatever opportunity is coming your way, so that you can make judicious use whatever opportunity will be thrown at you. So it's very important that platforms like this are given the opportunity to reach out to as many audience as possible, so that people can learn, people can unlearn, people can relearn, and people can gather as much experiences and glean from the wealth of wisdom from others, so that they can also make better decisions. Because I must admit, there are many things I learned along the way I wish I learned from the start. But platforms like this, would help every young man and every young woman out there to learn what is right from the start. And you would agree with me, someone who knows the right thing from the beginning would make much more progress. It's just like seeing the answers to an examination before you enter the exam hall. It's just like that, So it's not necessarily about the excitement of having to serve, but it's also about having enough wisdom to know on how to deal with it, so that you can make decisions of it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. For those just meeting me for the first time, I would like you introduce yourself briefly.
Okay. So my name is Oluwapamilere Sulaiman. I hail from Oyo State. I am a graduate of civil engineering from the University of Lagos.
Wow.
And aside civil engineering, I'm also into entrepreneurship, into project management, human resource, and all of that. So that's me briefly.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. All right, Ma. Can you quickly take us back to your NYSC camping days? Where did you camp? And before the camping, what are the process? Yes, what are the process? Is it immediately after the graduation from Lagos State University, you just meet yourself at the camping ground? And if that is the case, how does it happen?
Okay, so the company experience was quite a new one, if I might, I must put it that way.
Okay.
But before I go into the experience itself, let me just say briefly on the process
Okay.
to getting there.
Okay.
So for some, it might be fast, but due to the Nigerian system, for some, it might not. It depends on the school.
Okay.
It depends also on the portal, the NYSC system, because there are some people that registered along with me the same time, but we were not placed in the same batch. Some on, I wouldn't say unfortunately, because I mean, you look at it on the bright side, all things work together for good. So
Okay.
some had to wait a little longer for the coming batch, for the coming stream. So while some, like me, were lucky enough to be attended to immediately after registration. So immediately after I was done with school, I had to wait to clear my results, got my certificate, got necessary documents. Then I went for registration. And after going for registration, I had my portal, I had my account, and I also had to wait for my call-up letter for me to know where I was posted to. So luckily for me, I got posted to Ogun State. And so yes, luckily I didn't want to go anywhere too far. So but I was also very keen on being at the center of gospel, but there was one part of me that didn't want to go so far. So obviously it looked like the best place, one of the best places for me, one of the best options I could have. So yeah, so because I was posted to Ogun State, the camp for Ogun State is Shagam, is located at Shagam.
Okay.
So immediately I got my call-up letter, immediately I saw the state, I came over to Shagam. So on arriving there, we received warmly. Very, like, we're calling us white fowls because we're on our white and white. So we changed our white and white later on, but that's the cliche. Whenever they see people in camp, they say these are white fowls. It's just part of those experiences that makes it very memorable and exciting. So when we got there, were well attended to. Was a large number of crowd, you could imagine, from different institutions, different states. Some people had never been to the West, sir. Some people had never been to Ogun State. Some people had never even been to Ibadan or Lagos. So they're coming all the way from, people coming all the way from Warri, people coming all the way, and that's the beauty about NYSC, actually. It's a platform where people, irrespective of your culture, irrespective of your background, where you were born, where you were raised, the school you went to, you have the opportunity to mingle with different people, see different people's view. I had a number of roommates. We are all in one room, mingling with people, and that's one of the things that makes it fun, actually. You hear somebody say one language, which language is this one again? Say, oh my god, you are from Igbo, I'm Yoruba, nice to meet you. Get to learn different things. So we attended to them. They searched our bags because security is very important in Nigeria, and I love the fact that they were security conscious. And also we did some registration. Then they ushered us to our rooms. Then of course, now the experience itself, camp is a very regimented place and system, and that is one of the things people do not like, because no matter, it's not about what you feel, it's about what has to be done. So whenever we go, let me take it this way. Let me reiterate the processes in camp. So you wake up in the morning, you go for morning devotion. If you're a Muslim, you go to the mosque. If you're a Catholic, you go for your Catholic and Christians will come together for morning devotion. But it's on Sundays that we have Catholic and NCCF. So yes, so we come for morning devotion. After morning devotion, they reiterate to us the activities for that day. There are times, most of the time, we're divided into different groups, because we also have to partake in cleaning. Then we go for breakfast. Then the activity begins, and I loved my camping experience. Apart from the fact I got to meet different people, got to talk to soldiers. I don't think I've ever been so close to soldiers in my life before. And they were very friendly, funny and friendly.
You have another definition for soldiers.
Yes. And I actually love the fact that they were willing to relate with us, but they were firm. And that is very important, because youths can be very funny. So they had to be firm, but they were still approachable. So we had to do word drills. And we also had different times where they had to lecture us. They taught us, there was time they taught us on languages. We're about to serve in a Yoruba land, and most of us are not. For some of us, not most of us, because some people might not be from Yoruba land, but maybe they schooled in the West, so that's different. But for some, a little, let's say a few percentage of them, they they've not even been to the West at all, so they don't even understand the language. So I like the fact that they were thoughtful enough to teach people the language. Because just imagine someone who is coming away from Warrior that is posted to a place like Odeda, posted to a place like Abeokuta North, and they're speaking Yoruba. Like, what are you even saying? Exactly. So I think it's basic things like Ekaro, Ekale, and I think that's great because it fosters bond. And it also helps the core member to be able to relate well with the people in that land. So aside that, it taught us on security, it taught us on relating with people. They also taught us about the cultural beliefs of the land, because many people are oblivious of it, and it's very important so that we don't cross our boundaries. They talked about there are times where they want to do cultural festivals, and there's some cultural festivals, so they just made people, they gave basic knowledge so that people are aware of where they are going to and take the right measures so that they can enjoy their stay and enjoy the experience in NYC. So it was great. My most memorable part of of the camping experience, sorry, it was where I had to prepare for the parade. So I wasn't so prepared for the other activities like Miss NYSC, Miss NYSC. I did not bring so much clothes on. I wasn't.
Is it that you were not aware?
Yes, I wasn't aware. Well, some they had, their siblings give them the gist. I didn't have that opportunity. So, in fact, a funny experience was that during our cultural day, I didn't come with any Ankara, so to say, or traditional attire. I just took my wrapper, I just tied it on my head.
I must participate in this.
I just so to enjoy myself. So it was part of the. For me, it's fun. I mean, it's part of the experience that makes it memorable. So I just tied my wrapper as a headgear. I just entered the place and just mingle with my people, and it was a beautiful thing too. But what stood out for me, camping experience, apart from the service in NCCF, is the parade. We got to prepare. I got to learn how to do all those preparation and all those things. The movement, everything, and I also learned teamwork. Because if you need to win as a team.
Exactly.
Because what makes everyone is not the participants in themselves. We go as a team, we win as a team, we stand as one. So we learned to work together. We learned to shoulder one another, to look out for one another. But if I'm walking on the line, I see that the next person beside me is not aligned, I quickly just tap the person so the person can move. So I learned teamwork. I also learned to endure people, to give allowance for people's differences, because in as much as I can be very agile, I know that my partner cannot be. Sometimes some people can veer off easily when they are under certain temperature, so we have to give that allowance. And it was just fun, different people gathering. I mean, you got to eat with people. I remember they sound out big pampa. Oh my god, that morning one was one I was always annoyed, because you got to sleep late at night after a lot of activities. You are tired, before you know it, you wake up with one sound.
You will have woke up.
Oh no, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, yes.
Nigeria.
Yes, they wake up before Nigeria wakes up. Yeah. And I also remember that reminds me, thank you, sir. By 6 a.m. they raise the Nigerian flag, and we sing the national anthem. It's not necessarily a ceremonial thing. I think it's just an act to honor the land, and to respect the land, and to also to pledge our allegiance. I love what the pledge says. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful and honest. It's not just a ceremonial thing. To me, saying it repeatedly is also reminding yourself that as a Nigerian, you have your quota you're going to contribute to make Nigeria a success. So that's beautiful. So it's the experience. Of course, nobody should miss camping experience. It's wonderful. Wow. It's wonderful. So we also had sports. Yes, we also had sports.
And ball.
Yeah, yes, there was. Yes, amazing. I wasn't in any one of them. I was in the cheerleading team. I was in the cheerleading team, cheering them up. Yeah. I was in platoon 2. Okay. Yes, I was in platoon 2. And it was amazing. We also had debate competition. It was amazing. In as much I was not really active in all of the acts, but having to support my team too was also something I had to learn. Sometimes, teamwork makes me understand that you don't always have to be the one in the big picture. Just support whosoever is there and be confident in the fact that their win is your win. It's not every time you have to be at the spotlight. Sometimes you need to understand that this person might just be the best fit just for the sake of the team. So that's amazing. And of course, NCCF made it beautiful, because in as much as there's the jamboree, there's the mental development, there's the social part, there is also a need for spiritual, enlightenment, a place where you can feed well. And NCCF was that place for me.
All right, ma'am.
Was that place for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss
Familary. Yes. Thank you.
Fast forward to the last day in camp. What was your reaction when you were handed over your posting letter?
Oh my!
What were the expectations?
Okay, so before that time, everyone had, I think, the same feeling. What is it going to be? Where am I going to be posted? I don't want to be posted to Waterside. Oh, I don't want to go to Waterside. I don't want to go to those interior parts of Ogun State. I just want to be a posh girl. I don't want to go to Agbara. Those places. It's just a normal thing. The tension is everybody is so palpable. You could cut it with a knife. It's normal. Everybody's curious. Everybody's anticipating. But there was something we did in NCCF that really calmed me down. I think it was early hours of that day. We just met at the venue and we just began to sing and worship. I wouldn't lie, I was anxious. I was like, what am I going to get? Where am I going to work? Because I studied civil engineering. Exactly. Would they give me a school? That kind of thing. And I think that's one of the fears of our parents, that after studying for 5 years, we didn't have to throw you to one school in one place, But just like I said, if you look at it from the brighter side, if you're someone who is open to learn and very, very intentional about growth, it's not where they put you. It's not where to put you. It's what value you are contributing and the opportunities you choose to see. There's something I learned from Dr. Miles Moore of Blessed Memory. He said something. He says, in Chinese, what people call crisis in Chinese is called opportunity. So two people are seeing something. They are seeing a challenge. But one person is seeing an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn. I think most people run away from schools, but actually, it's an opportunity to impact life. Because if you leave NYSC, you might not get the opportunity to impact younger ones again. And it doesn't stop you from growing. It doesn't stop. Thank God for the technology we have right now in our time and in our age. It doesn't stop you from learning skills. The world has gone so virtual, and opportunities, and they're not even bounded by space and time anymore. So don't just be fixated on companies. Of course, it's good if you have the opportunity. Of course, please go build your portfolio. But even if it's not the end of the world, it's still an opportunity. It's just the way you choose to view life that keeps you going. So when I saw my posting letter, oh my god, my first reaction was, what is this? Because what I feared, but what eventually happened, I was posted to school, and as just like every other day, as some people were rejoicing, some people were crying. I was not crying. I was shocked. That's the reaction. I was shocked. And when the even posted me, was an interior part of Abeokuta. It's not even Ota or something. Abeokuta. I was like, how am I going to do this? Okay, let's get there first. So thank God for NCCF. They had buses available that was able to convey us from the venue, from the camp, yes, to the local government. Exactly. And when I got to the local government, I got to the family house in that local government. The wonderful people, they were kind enough to even direct me to my PPA. So that was my reaction. In one word, I was shocked. I was shocked.
You were finally posted to school.
Yes.
He as a vice principal or a
oh no. I was posted there, and when I got there, I had discussions with the vice principal. In fact, they were excited to see me. They were like, we've been waiting for someone with this kind of quality. Like, I was not even planning to come here. Don't tell me. Like every other copper, if they don't get what they want, their next prayer is let them just reject me. So that was the automatic response, sir. But when I looked around, and actually for me, I've been someone who has always been involved in education. Even while I was in school, I and my team, we ran tutorials. In fact, one at a time, one of our students emerged the best in the entire faculty, having 98 over 100 in that particular course. So I've always had passion for education. I've always had passion for teaching, impacting lives through knowledge. So it wasn't the end of the road for me. And it shouldn't be the end of the road for anybody. Actually, I understand that the pay might not be as big as those that are working in factory and all, because that's what some people also consider. But when I got there, they received me. When I saw how sincere they were, my heart melted. Like, oh, I don't want to stay, but it looks like I'm going to change my mind, and the rest they say is history. So it's a beautiful sense.
All right. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for.
Go straight to money management.
Okay.
Yes, during your service as a core member, you might have heard it from other fellow core members complaining that about their 77k allowance. It's not enough, it's not this, it's not that. How can someone realistically achieve something from that money?
That's a very important question, because finance is an important part of any man's life that must not be trivialized, and ignorance is costly. It is costly to be uninformed, and it is also costly to be underinformed when it comes to the matter of finance. And when it comes to any other area, but finance, very important. And I think, I strongly believe that NYSC, it's a year that prepares one for life. And one of the things that any man or woman must learn if you want to live successfully, he or she must learn how to manage finances. Manage finances, manage relationships, manage emotions, but most importantly, finances. So, what I would like to say first of all, in just 2 minutes because of our time, number one, you must understand where you're coming from. All fingers are not equal.
Exactly.
They always say so.
Exactly.
It's very important to know where you're coming from. No, where you're coming from would determine the decisions you make. Where you're coming from would guard your heart against unhealthy competition. Now, two people, for example, someone who is coming from a home where he's the firstborn, he has 3 siblings that he's catering for, cannot be spending money like someone who is the firstborn and the family are well to do. In fact, they don't even go for anywhere. Let me just send you abroad, continue your life. You can't
Exactly.
You can't
Never,
do that.
Never.
You can't compare yourself with the Joneses. That's unwise. So know where you're coming from, know where you are going to. If you can identify those two things, it will really make a difference in this NYC. So know where you're coming from, the home you're coming from, know where you're going to, what do you want to achieve financially. There's something we call financial goals. They say if you don't plan, if you don't have standards, you will fall for anything. If you don't have a plan, you will end up wasting resources because you don't have a plan. You are channeling resources towards. So where are you going to? What's your goal? For some, their goal is to settle down in marriage, and that's not bad in itself. That's an achievement, finding the right person. So someone that has a goal to get married at the end of NYSC will know that he or she is supposed to save. For some, they've discovered that their goal and their purpose is to build business, to be kingdom financiers. Those set of people now will have to, save certain amount of money to build their businesses. And where you're going to, or how big your goal is, determine the amount of sacrifice you're willing to make. So what I would just say, number one, is there are basic principles of finance that everybody should know. Number one is save.
Savings.
Pay yourself first. See, 77K is not much. And it's not about how much you make. The same story they tell when they were giving some certain corpers 33,000. It's the same story they are telling now. When we received 77,000, it is not always enough. Money is never enough.
Never.
The moment you understand that truth, I think it's a deliverance in itself. Because I learned something from Pastor Samademi. He said something. He said there's something we call Parkinson's law. Expenses rise to the level of your income. The moment you start earning 33,000, certain expenses will not be entering your eyes because you know that this is. But the moment you start earning 77,000, certain things. Let me just buy this food. Like life is not hard now. I need this.
It's time to have.
And you must learn it. It's saving in itself teaches you, how to keep money aside for purpose. And the wisdom in saving is that some people make the mistake, they save to spend. That is still wrong because you are going back to square one. Don't save to spend.
Don't save to spend.
Yes, save to invest.
Don't save to spend.
Save to invest.
Save to invest.
So some people, you see them, you hear couples say, I saved this money, in fact I saved 100K in my NYC, but when it was time for my POP, I used 50K to do photo shoot. I'm like, thank you. As how now? That is a bad decision, a bad financial decision. How could you have saved 100K 12 months only to spend it on your POP day because you are excited that it's just a phase, it's just a day.
Exactly.
No, you save to invest. Money, wealth is like a tree. Money is a seed. That's how you use money to make money. So when you are saving 77K now, because there's also a wisdom to this. Some people say in the name because of their saving, you not see them, they are drinking garri every day, they're looking thin. There's a balance to it. Okay. So number one, after knowing where you come from, knowing where you are going, you also need to know what do you have. Now, someone who is earning 77K and working in a company that pays 25,000 cannot make the same decision as someone who is earning 77K and is working in a company where they are saying we are not paying you, you are just volunteering. They cannot reject you. You need to know what you have. So one of the things that helped me was that I was earning 77K, but my PP was also paying me. Or they were not paying me not as much, but they were paying me something that is able to help me go by it. So I had to learn to discipline myself. I don't go to restaurants anyhow. Thank God for instance a family house. I don't go when I lived in I don't go trek. I just eat whatever they give me. I buy my gari. There are times where I had to trek and I trek with honor.